for someone in either in their personal life, because you said starts on the individual level, or even if they're trying to affect change in a corporation or a school or their family, etc. What are some things that listeners to this conversation could do to help them be more creative or dynamic in some of their approaches to life?
I think the first thing you have to do is you have to decide that you don't know everything, that even the things that you do know are suspect because it's all decaying. The shelf life of your information is decaying rapidly, and you don't see it, but it's happening. And to rely on what you learned in school or what you learned last year is back to that the universe is changing thing I was talking about, and it
Hmm.
doesn't care, and the world is moving past you. Your customers don't like what you're making anymore. You just don't know it because you haven't been paying attention. So you have to start off with what I call intellectual humility. And that means that you basically ground yourself and clear the board of any preconceptions. The second thing you do is intellectual curiosity. You have to allow yourself to seek answers and information and insights from every possible source, sources that you would never ask. Maybe it's an enemy, maybe it's a competitor, maybe it's somebody on the complete other side of the political spectrum. That's part of the bench testing in your own mind. You need to have all like the pessimist optimist or the yin yang kind of tension. You have to go out and look outside of, you can't, you know, one of the guys said, one guy said, so what you're saying is you can't sit in an elevator and just breathe in your own farts. And I went, yeah, okay. Yeah, like that. Because what you've done is you've isolated yourself intellectually to just the people around you
Right.
who look like you, smell like you, talk like you, think like you. And so they're all going to be like you. And that's too constricted and too restrictive. So yeah, you have to look at everything. And you can do this as a basic principle of life. How many people have ever actually read just a simple summary, even a Wikipedia summary of what chemistry is, or what
Right.
biotechnology is, or
Yeah. Not many.
how does a satellite operate, or there's 1,000 different topics. You hear a term, whatever, write it down, and go just do a short little exploration of it to expand your horizons, expand your brain. Um, when you do that, you get yourself poised for the third step, which is intellectual creativity. And I call it intellectual creativity because you've done the first two steps. So
Right.
you're clean, you're open minded, you're not just taking yesterday's football plan or formula and flopping it forward to every single problem has this solution just because it worked. Well, you have to rethink it each time, and you can rethink it each time in a much clearer and more honest manner if you have been curious and you've been absorbing information. You've been talking to people you wouldn't normally talk to. I do that today. I go and I talk. I've talked to CEOs of my competitors. It's amazing. We
Right.
start talking. We realize we're having the same issues.
Yeah.
Even though we're in competition with each other, we're actually get to a point where we're sharing that we're going through the same things. Now, the fact that I hear that somebody else is going through the same thing, that's enlightening to me because I thought I was the only one going through that. I thought everybody else out there was not having any of those challenges, and I was the only one struggling with these challenges. Well, no, everybody's having the same challenges. So suddenly my perspective on the environment, the business market, everything changed because I went and talked to
Right.
somebody that probably wouldn't be instinctive that I would go and talk to. So intellectual creativity is a true, pure form of innovative thinking that then can be implemented to make positive change happen, to either seize an opportunity or to protect oneself from a threat. But if you're not looking out there, you're not thinking this way, you're not looking 360 degrees, you're never going to see the threat coming and you're going to miss the opportunities. So it's a mindset, it's an exercise. I do it every day. I do it every time somebody comes up with a challenge in front of me. I before I say something that like, well, this is what I think you should do, which is the way I did it in the military. I was very much, okay, I know the answer to this. It was
Yeah.
like a quiz show, right? All right, here's the answer to how to do this.
Right. Rapid
It's a
fire.
three step plan. I
Right.
don't do that anymore. I stop, I listen, I clear my brain of all my assumptions, and I start asking lots and lots of questions. And sometimes the more I ask questions, the more I get answers that were different than what my experience has been.
Right.
And then I realize, okay, I'm doing it the right way.
Yeah. Curiosity over certainty. That's great.